Villainy is always more interesting than virtue.
I'm selling, they're buying. They're buying, I'm selling.
I want money.
Hello and good evening. It is Monday, March 21st, 2022, and we just finished watching episode 9 of Big Brother Canada 10, which featured the Week 4 HOH nominations. I'm Dave Mader, joined with Jeff Mader, my brother, and co-host Jaemeel Robinson, here streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch. Or you can listen to us on the audio version. We're going to be breaking down this whole episode. What happened tonight? The reign of my boy Gino. Oh, can we have some moose? Jaemeel, how are you tonight?
Do you want some? I'm just saying.
Jump right in. It's catchy. I'm here for Moose, but he wasn't really in this episode that much.
Which is great news. Look at that.
Good for your boy.
Yeah. Gino won the HOH, as we saw at the end of last week. And you guys, I listened to your podcast from the Thursday eviction of Steph, who went out 9-2, and left Gino and Jacey-Lynne in the dust of that vote. They were completely blindsided, along with Kyle, the outgoing HOH. And we saw that some of the aftermath in this episode of that. They showed us what was sort of happening right between the HOH competition and when Steph was evicted, and how much and now everyone's like, Kyle sucks. We hate Kyle. Gino, if you're with Kyle, and then they were pinning like the votes of Gino on Jacey-Lynne and vice versa, making them not trust each other. There was a lot, and Jacey-Lynne was chewing out Kyle pretty bad. There was some interesting stuff just in what they kind of edited in from the Thursday episode into this. So, Jeff,
Dave, may I just jump in? I know Jeff is chomping at the bit to comment on this.
So many hot takes.
Jacey-Lynne,
Mm-hmm.
my gosh.
Yeah, my pick. What are you gonna?
You told on yourself. You absolutely told on yourself.
Big
I'm
mistake
stupid.
tonight.
I don't know what's going on. Yes, you're stupid. You don't know what's going on, and that has anything to do with Kyle. Kyle has his own bed to lie in, right? You don't know what's going on is because you've been smooching with Gino for the entire week and not talking to anyone in the house. If you did, you would have understood what was going on, but you didn't, and that's on you, not on anyone else. That's your bed to live in.
She doesn't even know what's going on within her own alliance with Gino, who she's smooching with. You're right. She told on herself, and then she has the audacity to be like, "I'm mad."
her reaction was not very well poised. It was not like a figure skater. It was more like a figure skater who, like in the Seinfeld episode, Jeff, where she's like, my lace is a tie, or maybe she's a dancer. I can't remember. But anyway, it was kind of like reminded of that. Like Jacey-Lynne's a bit of a prima donna, I thought. And I thought her conversation with Kyle is telling the truth. He's like, yeah, I don't know what happened. I was completely blindsided like you. And she's like, it's your fault. And then she's like, I'm being manipulated by Gino. Gino must be after me. And we saw her talking to, who was she talking to about that?
She was talking to Summer,
right? Summer.
You're right.
Who obviously voted like on the opposite side, and
she's one of the
like,
9.
And she's like, "Man, that Gino, like it's unforgivable what he's done." Like she's just ranting and raving to Summer, and Summer's like, "Well, do you even take the time to care about giving an explanation as to why she did what she did?" She ends up hugging like Jace. That just shows you how good Summer's playing and how poorly Jace is.
Gino and JC are the new Jed and Beth. Is that a fair comparison?
Didn't Beth win stuff though?
Beth, yeah, eventually.
I don't know.
Not at this point in the game. And Sam's cheering for Kyle. He wants Kyle to stay. I'm kind of rooting for Kyle and Gino now as this underdog duo, even though they're like,
Sam.
Yeah, come on, Gino and Kyle. They're gonna trade HOHs back to back. They're gonna get all these rats out of here. And let's talk about your boy Jeff Marty.
Yep, Marty. Also made a huge mistake last week telling Kyle to do anything. It was stupid. He didn't need. He literally could have sat back and been fine this week. And he overplayed his hand, and then he took back his hand. He was like, "Put up Josh. All right, now I'm gonna vote to keep Josh." He made Kyle look like a complete idiot. Like he really did. And at least Kyle was smart enough to kind of actually like understand that and figure that out. And like I was actually I see why like Sam wants Kyle to stay, because I'm kind of like, okay, at least he actually understands somewhat what's going on. Jacey-Lynne is a hot mess. She's no idea what's going on. Even Gino, I think, kind of didn't quite understand the whole dynamic of it. Like, because I think he was also a little too busy, Jaemeel. I don't think he was really understanding the house. That's why you had to have a conversation. You kind of got to see tonight his read of the house and like how fresh it is in a lot of ways, Dave.
He's lying in wait. Gino is an alpha. You don't have to worry about Gino. Gino is going, when time comes to win, he'll win, which he did. He won this HOH. And then, I think like he was pressured pretty hard, I think, to like go against Kyle. Ultimately, he doesn't. So he's mad at Marty here for. Did Marty get unlucky? I guess is what I keep asking myself. The fact that he chose to flip and work with Josh instead after he was the one who told Kyle to put up Josh in the first place. So now Kyle's like, you are like, I can kind of see that from Kyle's perspective, where it was Marty who pushed hard for it and then flips around and says, no, I want actually Josh to stay and I'm against Kyle now. Even though his main complaint was that he wouldn't go to final 2, even though we're still at like how many people are in the house still, like 14. So there's still like a long ways to go in the numbers is kind of what my point is there. But
he wasn't unlucky. Like when you do something like that, when you're doing something like that, you have to know that there's going to be repercussions. So let's say that someone in the middle of the road got HOH, right? Someone who's easily manipulated. Let's say Betty won, right? And she's trying not to get blood on her hands. When you have the other side of the house going, we're mad at Marty. I want to say other side of the house, I mean the Kyle, JC, and Gino group.
And used to have Marty in it.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you put up Marty? Marty isn't an important number to you. He just came to technically your side. And, the other side wants blood. He's probably not going to be your main target. But at the same time, you get put him on the block. You're appeasing that side. Plus, you're able to take care of your target. Right? That was always a possibility. And him thinking that wasn't a possibility is a little short-sighted. That being said, he didn't get backdoored. So he still has an opportunity to, to campaign. He has a full week. He has a chance at veto. He has a lot of opportunities. He's not in the worst position that could have happened.
Josh was in a far worse position last week.
Exactly. Far worse. A strong alpha dude. Dave, you know how they love those alphas on the block. Right?
Gino, he's going to be the alpha of all alphas. You're going to see. He's going to win this whole game.
And Josh, not really from his own accord, from other people's pulling for him to take him off. Right?
Yeah.
So
I think Josh is probably the biggest threat right now to win the game. I mean, the fact that he was on the block there beside someone like Stephanie and stayed, it shows that he's probably going to go far in the game, because just the relationships are too strong with him. People like him too much, it seems like,
Gino doesn't put him up here tonight, right?
Yeah, it was that, to me, a mistake. Like that's kind of, I would have put him back on the block with who else did he put on the block? It was Marty and
Jessica.
Jess. See, I see why he put Jessica up for Gino, because she's not gonna work with him. So like that, like probably Josh and Jess would have made sense to put up on the block beside each other, because they, like basically Jess and a bunch of other people kind of rallied the whole house to make sure Josh stayed, and including Marty, like basically switched. Like he showed Marty disappointed a little bit in him, basically with his vote, he went he showed that he can't be trusted in an alliance. Like all you have is your vote in a game like this, and if you don't use your vote right, and you show even to you like when you flip right and you go to the other alliance is always going to look at you like, oh, you're a flipper, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's
You're always at the bottom of their alliance at best.
Yeah. So like I think it was a mistake for what he did.
I agree. Yeah. He's like, I do not like Gino's speech. He crossed the line with the saying it's a backstabber and all this. He's like, this is not good.
Just wait till you get to the spoiler section. Is all I'm saying.
Dave, did you love that they were? This is like we grew up in Quebec a little bit, but did you notice that they were having a conversation half in English and half in French? They would just between sentences go speak in French and then I'll go to English. Yeah, it's just like why wouldn't I don't know why you just wouldn't pick a language, or maybe it's maybe they were hiding what they were saying when they were speaking French. I don't know.
Yeah, remember 25% of English words are French in origin. So it's like we got a lot of French and English anyway, and they kind of interchangeably kind of go back. And then there's a whole bunch of English words that in French don't have translations either. So they like especially name brand things and proper nouns, like
Telefrancais,
like Pop-Tart and whatever. So it's like
right,
different things. Yeah, no. So I do like. I thought like Tynesha and Gino were going to work together because they're my picks in the draft. They're both from Montreal, and I thought they were getting along. They went to Wendy's together, didn't they, or something?
Right?
Didn't that happen? Did I imagine that? They didn't like Gino and Tynesha at one point do something, and then now they're not in an alliance. It seems. It seems like Tynesha's kind of with Summer. Summer and Tynesha are like a duo. Is that right?
Wait for the spoiler section.
Okay, spoiler section. Who else do we have to talk about then in this cast?
Well, how do we
Andrew, I want to talk about the new form of Gino and Gino. Was it Andrew? What was it? Andrew Clark, the lawyer.
Who?
Kevin's alter ego.
Yeah.
Oh, that. Tell me about that.
That was great. You didn't like it? Where so to try to play on the fact that him and Gino don't have a good relationship, Kevin thought he would make him laugh by representing himself in an alter ego as a lawyer. So he had a contract and said he was there to represent Gino. What we didn't see on camera was when Gino was in having his conversation with the multiple people in the house. Andrew would burst in saying, "Is it time yet? No," and just come back out. So he was playing in that role for a while.
I think that this might be the best concept I've ever seen someone do on Big Brother. Like, I think this would actually be a very fascinating thing to do, especially with the audience and with the house guests. Kind of what he's doing, like have an alter ego, and sometimes you're talking to the alter ego, and sometimes you're talking to the real person.
There was Austin and Judas in Big Brother 17.
Yeah. Okay, right.
And now he's the tag team champion. Gosh,
well, that was more of a diary room persona than two.
I'm sorry, I was not a fan of Austin, and to see this dude as champion.
Or Judas.
Either or sucked. Now he's part of Jurassic Express.
Is that better? That improvement?
It sucks as well.
Sucks as well. It sucks all around there for Judas / Austin from Big Brother 17. Yeah. Oh, Kevin. Okay, Kevin again is going to be probably. I don't know in the spoiler section, but is Kevin relatively safe this week?
I think so.
Kevin's okay.
Okay, like what the hell happened? We thought this guy was going to get booted week 1, and we thought, well, there's no way they're going to let him hang around and get to jury, but he might get to jury.
Dude, this is the messiest Big Brother season in a long time. Like,
in a good way.
When you say who should win HOH, the best thing to do is everyone should, because you don't know if you're going to hit the block. It's been so insane.
Right. But that's kind of a good thing, right?
Every week a veto's been played.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, sometimes someone's pulled themselves off the block each week.
Yes.
This is like a cutthroat season. They're not just putting up the easy targets. Like, I don't think that putting up Marty and Jess here
it's not even cutthroat. It's just they're playing so stupidly that they're putting up their own allies.
Yeah, there's no real It's kind of great. It's kind of what like an audience's wet dream. Like, oh, it's not the stupid big alliance, and I really like watching the season because it's such a mess. But like to expect a mess is rare. You know what I mean? Like it takes a certain group of house guests to all kind of really screw it up. You know, and this group is doing it. So it's kind of it's like a train wreck.
Jeff, you heard sorry, Dave, you heard us last week when we were talking about this is the week where you play it safe, you put two people, you let the dust settle, you'll be okay. Don't don't do anything with Kyle because I said put up Kyle, right? I think I said put up Kyle because you want to reset, you want everything to be
calm. Gino?
Oh, yeah. And what's happening? Marty goes up. Marty and Gino were going to be fine. I know it's something that Marty would have, like Gino would have trouble getting over, but like it's not just Marty. It was Herman. It was the entire house except Jace, right? You have to work with these people.
He felt most betrayed by Marty, though.
Most betrayed, least betrayed. It doesn't matter. It
matters to Gino. It matters to Gino, and he's not you. He's going to make a different choice.
Everyone's going to betray you until it's time for them to vote for you to either win the money or not. So it's all part of the game. You have to think about what is most beneficial for you, and then also when you're looking at other people's intentions, what is most beneficial for them.
I don't think Gino thinks that deeply in terms of the strategy. I think he's more on the surface, and he's more like Kyle's my bro. Alpha. Kyle's my bro. Jace is my girl. That's all there is to it. I'm afraid of the dark. Where's my nightlight? Let's go.
That's a good sixth place thought process.
Well, I never said that Gino was a mastermind player.
It doesn't even have to be a mastermind.
I don't think he's a particularly good player, but I think I think this particular twist in the game is interesting this week because I think that this whole house was like going to come at Kyle, and now they've been denied it, and now it's got Gino enacting revenge on Marty instead, right? And potentially maybe who knows, Jess might go instead. For all we know.
The problem with that type of thought process is when you have a house, just think of it as like a protest, right? I just watched Trial of the Chicago 8 just recently again,
good
right?
movie.
Right? And when you have a crowd with that much energy, it needs to be directed somewhere. And when you don't give them the ability to have a kind of an outlet, what happens? It's like a bomb exploding, right? And you don't want that type of thing happening on your HOH, right? When people are telling you that they want Kyle's blood, you go, here he is, hate, right? If I can throw a little do the right thing at you at the same time, right? Throw the crowd at Sal's Pizza and let them burn them down and not kill you, right? You do what you need to do, right? Gino, he knows that the only person he can trust is himself and his girl. That's great. You can't win the game with the two of you. So you got to think about working with the people that you don't trust because you're going to have to.
Right. Very true. But Gino is good at Gino, is my point. He's not necessarily going to think in those terms, but I think that and I don't think he necessarily will win because I think that he has a very long climb, him and Kyle and Jacey, unless they get out everybody, unless they're somehow able to run the table here and get out all their competition, especially pre-jury, especially if they could get someone like Herman out, who I think is definitely against them now, right? They have to start thinking about who are the threats from the other side. I don't think Marty was the right move here for Gino. I think that if anything, he should have put up Herman. All
right, can we talk a little bit about Herman and the conversation he had with Kyle?
Yeah, as a man, you've destroyed
as a man,
me.
Jeff.
Yeah, as a man.
What do you mean? What do you?
Kyle asked that. What do you mean as a man? What does that mean? He's like,
you did things without asking me permission, and we're an alliance and 7, and we were shooting heroin. Remember, we were shooting heroin, and we were doing
ice water in the veins.
I just think it was. kind of hilarious to watch him do that.
He's a beta. When you see it, when he's with Gino, he's like, he came at me like a man, and he disrespected me twice in the week, disrespected me like a man, as a man. And then all of a sudden Kyle gets in the room and he's like, well, you made me, you disrespected me as a man, like he couldn't even meet his eye. And he was just fumbling over his words, like all his bravado just disappeared completely. Like, dude, seriously, right? Like Kyle, who was completely dumbstruck just like 5 minutes before in the episode, looked like such a like a imposing figure to have Herman just kind of curl up, right, and just kind of shrink in his presence. It was embarrassing.
It was. You seem mad at me. What's going on? I don't know. I'm just mad. As a man, you should have asked me. Okay.
Yeah, like so the former seven, what were they called? The Savage Seven. Like, yeah, and their remnants and sort of like the downfall of them. Because you think about like Summer, Tanisha, Josh, Gino, Moose, Kyle, Herman. That was the seven. And now it's all broken up. Now
they also had the retreat too.
The retreat because they were staying pretty?
No, they had like a offshoot of the seven called the retreat. Which he was also salty about. That was broken too.
And who was in the retreat? Was Kyle?
It doesn't matter at this point. It's broken.
Too. It's dead.
Like all these alliances are dead.
Well, what's the main alliance now? What's the there's Kyle and Gino and
let's wait till the spoiler section.
Okay, we should get to spoilers. I don't know what else to talk about because like there's so much to get to.
You didn't like any of the speeches. Did you like the fact that they got pizza?
Yes. I thought that was I thought that the pizza party was very interesting to see that play out because we've seen this a few times because I guess they don't give them a lot of booze in the house, right? Only at certain times. And they gave them a few pitchers of beer and a pitcher of red wine at least and some bunch of pizzas.
St. Patrick's Day.
It was St. Is that what it was? St. Patrick's Day? So it was last Thursday.
I think it's interesting, guys, that they would never show this on the American version. Like them actually drinking. They never do.
Yeah, they can.
Sometimes, but not very often.
Allowed.
They wouldn't show it in clear containers like that.
Right.
It'd be like, oh, look, there's cans or bottles of stuff. All right. And then it's like the aftermath and not really, everyone with red cups. Oh my God, they're just drinking. It
looked like a college frat party, and they would never show that on the American Big Brother.
They'll show the fashion show.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
After they've had something
that I don't care about, but they wouldn't show. I wish they could say, "Hey, we're doing a special presentation of BBCAN all night with clips from the outrageous St. Patrick's Day party that happened on Thursday." If they advertise something like that, I would watch. Right, but another thing that they wouldn't do is they would show it in the live feeds. Here in Canada, they don't show them partying on the live feeds. They block it completely.
They block that. Okay.
Yeah. Which hey, if you were in the house, you would prefer that too because you can like kind of unwind a little bit.
Yeah, I guess. But as an audience, I don't know if I care what they prefer as the host guest. Like it's more about the because I think the that whole segment was interesting because you were kind of seeing a lot of people like letting loose, especially in the diary room. They were slurring the words a little bit, perhaps. They were kissing around the hot tub, Jaemeel.
Jess and Josh.
Yeah. Was that like a dare? Were they playing truth or dare with
probably or spin the bottle?
Although
pictures? I don't know why you don't use that big wheel to spin the bottle.
Yeah, it seems like it's purpose made, for that kind of thing. Exactly.
House guest choice.
Yeah, they do like going out to the outside quite a bit, huh?
Yeah, that's where the hot tub is.
Yeah. Hey, hot tub.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so
You're like, let's just get to spoilers, man.
Okay, yeah, we gotta get to spoilers. Hold on. Okay, we gotta. Who's with us? Anybody? Okay, we're going to spoilers, everybody. If you can't handle it, it's tough. Oh, how do I?
He's looking for it.
Hold on. I got this new thing.
Just a little bit while longer.
It's coming, guys. Don't worry. It's good things come to those who wait. Is what I always said. All right, here we go.
Oh, it's the future.
You could put it all over all three. Yeah. Red alert.
Red alert. So to describe this week, oh my gosh, it's been messy, dude. It's been so messy. So let's start with the power veto. Power veto. Do you know who won power veto?
No.
So far in all of the competitions, no one has won two competitions. Every single competition has been won by a different person until this week.
There's a repeat,
right? So there's only two people who can possibly repeat.
The two nominees.
Sure.
Marty won.
Marty did win. Marty took himself off the block.
So yet again, another week. Is it when the veto's going to get played and works? Okay,
now,
Marty, that's good for me.
Tonight on the episode, Gino said, because he said Marty, Jess, and who was the third person? Tanisha. So Tanisha was the.
I will get to her in a second.
I think the replacement nominee is Jacey-Lynne.
Okay, it's not Jacey-Lynne.
Okay.
So he was thinking of who he was going to put up. So he was thinking that he just might put Betty up and have Jessica as his target. And then work started to people started getting to work. So I also have to backtrack a little bit to tell this story. So during some time ago, Marty has the belief that there's a 3-person alliance that holds a lot of the power in the house on the other side. And that 3-person alliance is Herman, Tanisha, and Moose. Which we know is not a thing, right?
Okay.
And they have Summer as a number, but she's not really with them because everyone likes Summer.
Okay.
So Marty has spread this to people, and it eventually got to Helena, who then spoke to Gino. So when speaking to Gino and giving this information, Gino's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. Oh, it makes sense, doesn't it? It makes sense. Oh my gosh, man. And Helena wants Herman to go.
Okay.
But then Gino's like, wait, I don't have enough votes to get anyone I want out. What am I going to do? Like, I don't think I can, like, this is going to be a disaster of a week. It's going to happen. What happened to Kyle is going to happen to me. And then Helena mentioned, is like, hey, maybe you just do what the house wants and put up Kyle. So he goes, that makes sense. That makes sense. So
don't do it, Gino. Don't do it.
So he goes and Gino goes and talks to Marty. And then he's like, I just heard that there's a power on the other side of the house. And that power on the other side of the house is Tanisha, Herman, and Moose. And of course, Marty's like, that's what I heard too. Which makes no sense. Because that's where it came from.
Well, you heard it. You heard it in his head.
So he's like, am I going to have to put up Kyle? And Marty's like, but I think you might have to. So said, so done. Kyle was the replacement nom.
Oh my god.
Kyle is so gone. Some podcasters are asking for questions for Kyle when he gets eliminated. He is
We should-
so gone.
We should ask him to come on here.
Kyle, you might as well start the work. Put the work in.
Put the work in.
Because like this is just a disaster of a week.
No kidding. It sounds like a disaster of a week. The whole house sounds like a disaster. There's no clear strategy. Nobody's really working together well. It's just like a big smorgasbord house right now, and it really doesn't make any sense as far as a narrative. I bet you the producers are frustrated.
Well, it's hard to tell a narrative.
Yeah.
There's like every week is a different. It's a different type of presentation they have to put forth. It's different than what they're used to. Why is my camera so high?
Yeah, I don't know. This was not a good move. I'm not happy with what Gene. It probably will save his game long term, actually, but it's not interesting in terms of what I wanted to see this game do. At this point, I think that this is kind of a cop out. It's kind of
no. I to me it makes perfect sense. I picked Kyle, and of course Kyle has to go. Where it seemed like impossible for my person to get eliminated this week after my disaster of last week in Survivor. Of course, Kyle has to be eliminated this week.
Well, you still have Moose. Play.
I'm not putting it on yet. I'm not putting it on. Okay, no. We got to stretch it out to get the people, to want it.
Okay.
You got to feel it.
Gotta feel it. Give it all at once, or they'll get.
How do you all feel about this, Dave? You kind of already expressed your feelings, Jeff.
About what? Just how much of a mess the house is.
Mm-hmm.
I think I enjoy it because I think sometimes the house can get predictable when it becomes like I found Big Brother Canada's done this a lot too. Like not last season, but a few seasons before that, it was just kind of like the best looking, youngest, kind of most athletic people, which is common, get together and they run like a 7-person alliance. Like it was gonna like Herman's grand idea here, genius idea. I just don't think it's very fun to watch after a while. It gets old, it gets stale. So I much prefer watching a mess than a completely well-crafted alliance that thinks they're so smart. And because I think we're past that point now. Of watching these shows, where we need a little bit more chaotic. It used to be twists. They used to be like, we need to do twists to stop them, but it's actually the players that have to evolve, and I think that's kind of what we're seeing here.
Like this season doesn't need a twist.
No,
the players are the twist. That's it.
Yeah, well, they're kind of running around in circles on each other here, ultimately, and Gino goes against the guy who he should have been ride or die with, in my opinion. But I guess the other option is he cuts him loose, and will he be a target moving forward or not? I think he's always going to be a target. So I think he ought as well have kept Kyle in the game as an ally and as a shield for him as well, because if he was working with him, it wouldn't necessarily. Now there was always the chance they would just put the two of them up. Right,
but he wouldn't be going home unless Kyle took himself off the block.
Well, yeah, they could either one could take each other off the block, or they could trade HOH wins back and forth for all we know. So.
This season doesn't seem likely that this is gonna happen.
There's been a lot of non-repeating in the winners, but now Marty's won 2 competitions. Maybe there's a trend.
Like you see how people were like, "Is Betty gonna win?
Is Betty gonna win?
Like,
you want Betty to win? Business B?
Do I want to see Betty win a HOH? I would just to see how crazy it would be. Although I'm feeling a little bit down on Betty because her and Kevin made up.
Yeah, they seem to like each other now.
Yeah,
but
I think that's more on Betty's side than. The change was more on Betty's side as opposed to Kevin. Like Kevin never did not like Betty. Betty was just so full of herself and like insane that
I think Betty's got a thing for Kevin.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, she may. I don't know.
I don't think so at all.
Jeff, Betty have a thing for Kevin?
I think, it's changing around. She was like, I hate you so much. Now I like you.
Where's it going to go next? Love.
You could. You never know.
It might be unrequited.
No, she likes Andrew Clark.
Right, Andrew Clark. And
who's Andrew Clark?
The lawyer.
He's lawyer.
It's like business B loves Andrew A.
Yeah, they'll just
Or Andrew C.
Yeah, B
'cause
Money can be with Kevin, and Business
Business
Betty.
B can hate. No, it should be Business B hates Kevin, and B Money is with Andrew.
Yeah, they both have alter egos. They're perfect for each other.
Match made in hell. Right there. Okay, then what's the most interesting thing? Does Kevin have a kid in the way?
I do
with
not
Betty?
believe so.
I don't believe so. I just think that they feel that Kevin is just such a character. It'd be a good father.
Yeah, which was kind of interesting, and you could see he cared about Marty's opinion, and Kevin's slowly starting to integrate in this house. Like I said when we did the cast preview, I was like, if this guy can last a few rounds where he's not the target, then like I think he'll do okay. But like the oddball people that get in the house, it does take them a little while to like blend in, or like
if they can survive the first 2 weeks, then they're probably okay.
yeah.
Because that's kind of, I think if you're the oddball, don't quite fit in, you're not like obviously got the numbers with you, you're the easy target in the first 2 weeks, right?
Well, but there's two reasons for that traditionally happens. One, because there's some stupid twist where the big alliance gets to stick together because they're afraid of what's going to happen with the twist, and if they have the numbers, they're okay, right? And because of that, everyone also being messy has allowed like Jessica, who could have been an easy boot, and Kevin, who could have also been an easy boot, allow them to kind of get roots into the household and kind of succeed.
Yeah, but what happens now? They get Kyle out and this like the remnants of the seven, like namely
What remnants of the seven? Like Kyle does not Kyle, but Gino doesn't trust Herman.
Okay, but Gino's side, right? The other five of them. We're talking Herman and Moose and Tanisha and Summer and Josh.
So groups is what you were asking about. So it seems that Jace, Gino, Helena, right? Helena, sorry, and also Josh might be a thing.
What about the Honey Bunch?
Dude, who's thinking about Honey Bunch?
Honey Bunch might be a resurgence.
No.
Do you remember who was in it?
Summer, Herman.
No,
Herman wasn't in it.
No, it was Summer, Jacey-Lynne, Gino, and Josh.
Yeah, Honey Bunch is not a thing. Although they do like Summer. Everyone loves Summer.
Everyone loves Summer. Okay, but Summer is mostly with Tanisha, from what I can tell. And then there's Helena. Helena's this other player we don't talk about a lot.
Well, we're gonna see her on Wednesday's episode.
Where does she fall in the grand scheme of things? Is she with the new alliance?
She's with Josh and
them
and
Summer.
No, Josh and Gino and Jace.
Gino and Josh are a thing. Since when?
Oh yeah,
when that happened.
Watch the Wednesday episode.
Oh man, there's so much going on in this show. It's so exciting.
Yeah, it keeps changing. Like what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, they're a hot mess. This house.
They're a hot mess. It's great.
All right. Well, I think we've broken it all down for tonight, guys. I think there's as much as we could talk about in terms of this week 4. If you're followed here on the spoiler section, what a disappointment. I thought I was so excited after this episode. I'm like, this is great. Kyle going is not. I think what
it's bad for me. Yes, but it's
bad for the game.
Mess.
It's bad for the show.
It's more mess.
It's more mess. It's too clean, in my opinion.
I disagree. Because knowing that like everyone's gonna be split apart technically, because we thought that there was like 9 people on one side and 3 people on the other side. That isn't the case.
No, it's like more like trust clusters throughout the house.
Trust clusters.
Like it's like what was that Big Brother Second Chances? No, Survivor Second Chances. The one was Fishback. What was that one?
Yeah, it's trust clusters. Yeah,
They
or
had trust
voting
clusters.
blocks.
Voting blocks, trust clusters,
Yep.
different things like that.
They're
Anyway.
just different names for the same thing.
Yeah.
Different, like instead of there being major, it's the super alliances, I guess would be the alternative, right? The mega
Death to
alliances.
super alliances.
Death to super alliances, because I think they're boring. I don't want to see some group of 6 or 7 go, we have the numbers and we
Yeah.
control things and this is what's great. Then you get their diary room session. No, I don't want anything to not go our way. Of course I want it to always go our way. And what doesn't go our way, I get mad. And that's what goes on
Right.
for like a bunch of episodes. You're like, okay, well, this
Once
is
Kyle's-
It was better like in previous like old seasons, especially, and Survivors kind of figured this out too. But like where it was just like 2 people, and we're like, we're 2 people in alliance. Like in Big Brother Canada, what was the 2 guys that the Fortress or whatever
The
hell
Shield.
they
The
were called?
Shield.
The Shield, yeah, like that was whatever the hell they were called. The Shield, like those type of things. The
the Mason Dixon line and Survivor, and was it David versus Goliath?
Yeah, like those are a little bit more interesting when it's a smaller group of people, and it's like, well, yeah, well, you're right. When it's like a 7-person, 6-person alliance and the Beast Squad or whatever the hell they call themselves every time, the Commission, whatever, the Corporation, they're basically giant wrestling stable names, and
It's like the NWO, and like,
Yeah.
oh look, Virgil's a part of the NWO. That's great. There's
Yeah.
no name person in the background that's just taking up space.
Right.
if Kevin was a wrestler, he'd be IRS.
Erwin
Tax
R.
cheats.
Shyster.
Yeah,
You know, these tax cheats.
he'd be a shyster.
Yeah.
And then Business B would be the $1 Million Woman.
Yes.
Money
B.
Incorporated.
Business DiBiase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta find a way to get that going. Anyway, so we'll be back on Wednesday, I think, to check in about the veto episode after we do an episode about Survivor here on Super Mario Brothers Podcasting, season 42 in full effect. And we will be covering the newest episode. I believe it's episode 3 this Wednesday, which is in 2 days from now on March 23rd. And then the eviction. I guess we're gonna see Kyle get evicted here on Thursday.
will.
We already know that here on Monday. So we'll be talking about that coming up here on Super Mario Brothers Podcasting, and we should also check out our other coverage and content here on the channel. We also do things like Marvel, covering the newest MCU installments. We started with WandaVision. We've been going through all the different series and movies and different installments. Most recently, Hawkeye. Coming up next, Moon Knight. And that's another week or so before that drops, I think. It's
31st.
coming up soon. So I'm excited. Oscar Isaac's starring in that.
Ethan
And-
Hawke.
yeah, the clock there. And then we also we got Doctor Strange coming up in May, right?
I said Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hunt.
No, Ethan Hawke.
Okay.
What
The
about-
actor.
What about him?
He's in Moon Knight.
That's good. That's great. What
You're
is-
like the clock. I'm like, what?
no,
What is
Moon
this
Knight.
Morbius movie? It's also a Marvel movie.
No,
I
it
don't
isn't. It's
know.
a
It's
Sony
not
movie. It doesn't
MCU.
count.
It's not
in a-
MCU.
No,
No.
it's not MCU.
Oh, okay. Because I thought it was going to be connected to Blade.
No.
No.
Okay.
I'm ignoring it. I'm hoping it goes away because I saw some other trailer where Jared Leto's starring in some other movie where he's doing like kind of like an Eastern European accent. You know the one I mean? Oh,
Yeah.
right.
We Crashed? Is it We Crashed? Or
I think so. And then like I'm like, why isn't he doing that voice as Morbius? That's what Morbius is supposed to sound like. He's not supposed to sound like Jared Leto, but he's got these accents backwards in these 2 performances in these 2 movies coming out. For that reason alone, I'm out on this Morbius movie. Not withstanding anything else they put in it. Hope there's
Dave,
suckers
you
on
were
the hands.
Dave, please continue. What else do we have here
Sorry.
in our cavalcade of channels?
Well, I talked about Survivor coming up. You should also check out Trivial Debates, our monthly show. We argue about movies, TV, sports in a game show format. It's like there's a movie round, then a TV round. We ask different questions. The people debate. Jaemeel Robinson is going to be competing against Jody Simpson and Worf, son of Moog, coming up on Sunday, March 27th, 2022, with Max Duda hosting. At 10 a.m. Eastern. You can watch that live. That bad. We don't even know what the questions are yet because Max
questions yet. Oh, I'll have it out for you guys shortly. He said.
Yeah, that's what he said, and then I forgot about it, and then I realized Max hasn't done shit. So tomorrow I got to get on the case with him and tell him to get his things out there because Worf son of Moog says, "What the hell, man? I don't like it." And so this will be a really fun battle to watch, I think. So check that out. We also have Live Long and Podcast. We have our different podcasts coming out on Monday nights, including tonight, where I was talking with Jody Simpson, Adam Woodward, and Kevin Millard about the newest episode. Well, not the newest episode, but the next episode of Star Trek Enterprise in our rewatch podcast. Which tonight was Fusion, where T'Pol got like a mind meld assault. Like it was very invasive, and it didn't go so well. And it was disturbing. But you want to hear us talk about that? You can every Monday night as we talk about Star Trek Enterprise. And then Jeff, Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Yes. Yes, I cover Star Trek Deep Space Nine on Deep Space Nine at 9ish, Tuesdays at 9. We're like almost halfway through season 5.
Yeah, we got Rapture tomorrow.
Rapture. Yep. So it's Cisco. He's religious. He's praying at an obelisk, and he's trying to figure out the mystery. Tune in.
Yep. You can check that out every Tuesday, Deep Space Nine at 9ish. And then on Thursday, we'll be covering the next episode of Star Trek Picard. It's in the second season now. They are going beyond episode 4. That they released that title today, if I recall correctly. It is season 2, episode 4. Is called The Watcher. And I think it's going to have Brent Spiner. I think he's coming into the show. So it's good. That's exciting. We'll be talking about that with Jody Simpson, Adam Woodward, and Davin Skellhorn from Locutors of Trek. Speaking of which, we have Star Trek Radio Theater. We just put out, not that long ago, we put out Hiding Q, our edited version of that with Steve Shives. We're going to be doing Darmok on April 9th to celebrate First Contact Day. And we're going to be having Davin playing Captain Picard, and we got Adam Woodward playing Dathon for that. So Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra, get that ready. That's coming your way very soon. And lastly, you should check out Davin's podcast, Locutors of Trek, his Star Trek themed channel, where he talks about all different things. He has debates over there. He does all kinds of fun Geetal challenges, Klingon challenges, writer's room pitches, different segments. Really interesting and fun. You should always check out Locutors of Trek and X-Men the Animated Series rewatch series, where him and Andre, they talk about all these different episodes of Star Trek, or not Star Trek, X-Men the Animated Series. I got Star Trek on the brain. X-Men the Animated Series. They're into season 2 now, going through all those episodes one by one, analyzing them, breaking them down, and talking about them.
This week's episode is Pride of the X-Men. They actually did it earlier tonight. So you should watch it because in this business, bub, second best doesn't cut it.
That's right. This one's for you, Morph.
This one's for you, Morph.
Yeah. So check out X-Men the Animated Series, Davin and Andre, X-rated. And then also, who am I forgetting? We got Eamon Mater under this alias of Sam Jerka. There's Let's Talk About Fighting Games, his podcast where he talks about video games with Sonic Smash Bro, who's a different person than Seth.
There's 2 people.
There's 4.
Oh, okay.
I like to think
Sonic Smash Bros. Seth was a better name.
I like Super Sonic Smash Bros. Seth, but you're telling me it's Super Sonic Smash Bro or just Smash Bro?
No, Super Sonic Smash Bro is one person.
Okay. Seth is one guy.
Or it might be Smash Bro Seth, and Super Sonic might be somebody else. Eamon said there's a comma missing in there somewhere. So somewhere there's 2 people.
Just read it as one line.
And then Paranoia.
Paranoia is a separate person.
Super Sonic Smash Bros. Seth Paranoia.
And Sam
Right,
Sam Jerka.
But it says and paranoia, so you understand that paranoia is a different person. Anyway, it's all there over there on Spotify, wherever you get your audio podcast. You can listen to Sam Jerka and his gang of merry men.
Don't forget the Hellbound podcast.
The Hellbound podcast with Michael Chan. Great stuff. Michael Chan and Alex Blackburn, Discovery's own Michael Chan, who was just on Star Trek Discovery. Didn't even mention, we just wrapped up season 4's coverage of that on Live Long and Podcast last week. He was in that episode in a big bad way, people. It was really exciting to see him there. He didn't get named yet, but he works for Vance. Vance is flying orders at him, right?
Attention all personnel, please stand by. We'll be dropping out of warp in 1 minute.
That's Michael Chan in Star Trek.
Yep.
Yeah, very
He
exciting.
dropped out of warp.
Yeah, he's like, we're dropping out of warp. And then
Admiral Vance. Admiral, Navarre has 17 ships heading to the evacuation base. Do you want me to bring them here after they unload?
Nah, they should stick to the plan. Navarre only has 86 warp-capable ships as it is.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir. Yeah, he's like,
Right?
yeah.
See? He already did a yes, sir, better than Bashir did when he had his first couple of episodes. He's well ahead of the curve.
Yeah, like he's in the universe, Jaemeel.
Yeah. That's
Like, for
your
real.
next Miles O'Brien there.
Yeah, he's in our he could be the next Miles O'Brien. We don't know. It could be a spin-off. Michael Chan,
His
Miles
wife
O'Brien.
Keiko. Yeah, his wife
Yeah.
Keiko
There might be a
Wants to-
Keiko in his future. A Keiko. There's lots.
sends her back to Bajor, tells
Yeah.
her, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. He's going to be in next Star Trek Radio Theater too. So very exciting. All kinds of good stuff going on with our friends and in our own network here on the podcasts. And I think that's it. I think we'll sign off for the evening. Thanks for being with us. We got to get back to the announcers and doing those things over there. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Jaemeel. And thank you, Arissa Cox. But until then,
And remember, someone is always watching.